Hello, this is Anna
and Kim
from the Behind the Stacks podcast.
And you're listening to the BS Podcast Network.
This podcast brought to you by OuchThatHurts.com. Visit Ouch That Hurts for music, gaming, reviews, editorials, podcasts, and more. OuchThatHurts, HERTZ.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Save Point Podcast, episode 31. I am Dan. I'm joined here by Tuesday. Say hi, Tuesday.
Hi.
Tuesday you've been off the past couple of times. I mean, we didn't record last week, but you were off that other one too. Everything going okay?
So far, so good. Just
All
been a little
right.
busy with life.
With life?
With life.
Yeah. Some people don't really, some people don't, this is not our full-time job. So we actually have to go and make money.
But if it was, though.
If it was. And the way to do that is to support us. You doing okay over there? You dying over there?
I am.
Oh, right.
I'm choking on air over here.
Well, you got to start sipping some whiskey like I am.
Okay.
Yeah, I sip whiskey every episode, and you do your thing every episode.
All right, I'm gonna start sipping whiskey then.
There you go.
Sounds like a good remedy.
Steve will be joining us at some point. We just don't know when. Hopefully soon.
He's hiding.
He is hiding. He's hiding with kids. So that sounded really bad. He's hiding, putting his kids to bed, putting them to sleep for the night.
Yikes.
Yeah. I'm just on a roll. I'm just on a fucking roll tonight, aren't I?
I'll call you Butter, because you're on a roll.
I'm on a roll. Really? Boom, boom.
Oh, come on. You know I gotta get a good pun in.
Yeah, that was a good one. I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's my talent.
But if you are listening to us, if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button for us, please, wherever you're downloading us at, Google Play or iTunes or wherever. Leave us a review. We'd love reviews. Love to find out how we're doing, if we're doing good or bad or whatever. Though the response from joining our wonderful partners of BS Podcast Network, that's bspodcastnetwork.com, and Ouch That Hurts, HERTZ.com, has been wonderful. So keep it going, keep checking out those sites, keep listening to us, and we love it. If anything, join our Discord also. Once again, those links are all by our descriptions of our podcast. So please join our Discord. We've gotten a couple more people in, and we love talking and love chatting and having a good time. So I
love roasting PlayStation players.
You do love roasting PlayStation. That was an awesome meme that you sent out, which we will talk about the PlayStation 5. What was it?
Smells like bitch in here.
The PlayStation 5 can tell you how good you are actually at playing. Your response, it smells like bitch in here. It's great. That was great. I almost dropped my phone when I first saw that. I was out at the park with Charlotte, and she's swinging on the swing, and I almost dropped my phone. It was wonderful. But besides that, what have you been playing besides roasting people on the Discord?
I'm still trucking along on Bayonetta. Still avoiding Breath of the Wild as per usual. I know I'm a disappointment for that one.
Fail.
I have been playing a Mario game that I just got.
Just a regular Mario game, or does this Mario game have a name?
It's for the Switch. Hold on. Let me make sure I get this 100% correct here.
As we hear the crackling of your mic.
All right, so that I have it pulled it up for us. I have the Super Mario Brothers Deluxe for the Switch.
Oh, I got that too.
Yeah, I suck at it.
It's just a 2D platformer. It's actually Super Mario Wii U or whatever it was, whatever came out, and
Yeah.
then Super Luigi Wii U.
Yeah.
It just kind of crammed into the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. I'm bad at all of these kinds of Mario games. Like, I love them, but I don't know how I'm, like, so bad at such a simple game.
Do you know that there is a character that you can play as and you won't die?
Oh, is there?
Yes.
Who is
It's
it?
right at the front. Whoever one of the people are, it's like the girl Toad.
Oh, Toadette?
Yeah, Toadette. You can
But then
play.
it's gonna smell like
You can
bitch in
play
here
as
if I play
her.
as her. It's really gonna smell like bitch in here if I play as her.
Speaking of smelling like bitch, guess who joined us?
How dare you? How dare you, sir?
No,
Hi,
we were.
everybody.
Hey, Steve is here.
Hello.
We were talking about before Tuesday started talking about what she was playing. That meme that she put in when it came to the PlayStation 5 stuff, and it says on the Discord where it says, you know, the PlayStation 5 can record how well you are, you know, how good of a gamer you are, and her thing under it says, "Smells like bitch in here."
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of unhappy people.
I mean, if
That's
I get
for
the
sure.
PlayStation, I'm definitely gonna be one of them. I'm just gonna
Oh.
go ahead and out myself there.
Well, we will be talking about the actual confirmed from Mark Cerny some hardware specs. I mean, obviously it's very very early into the development cycle, but we'll kind of talk about that. But go ahead, Tuesday. What were you playing? So you said you were playing not Breath of the Wild.
I'm never playing Breath of the Wild. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the Super Mario Deluxe, and then still playing Bayonetta. I think. Oh, I went back and played a little Pokemon too.
Oh,
Because,
nice.
you know, always got to have my sauce. So.
Awesome.
Pour it on.
Awesome. So seems like you had a very good, productive Nintendo couple of weeks.
Oh, you know it. It's all Nintendo over here all the time.
All right.
I tried to play Borderlands, but I mean,
Hey, I got on Borderlands, but I'm on PC with the Borderlands, and you just don't want to play PC Borderlands.
I will play PC Borderlands. Maybe.
Why don't? What did you play Borderlands on?
When I had Borderlands capabilities, I played on Xbox.
Okay. All right. Fair
Gotcha.
enough.
Okay. Hey, we do have Xbox news too, but we'll make the jokes about that later. Awesome Tuesday. Welcome, Steve.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
How are the kids?
Terrible.
How's the wife?
Surviving.
Okay, there you go.
No, yeah. It's all good over here. The kids have just their bedtime routines have shifted slightly and are taking longer now, and it's a phase. So we're getting through it.
I have my little one. She is now getting to the point where she's talking.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll do the little story time at the in the front. You know, she'll have a little bit of milk, and we'll read a couple of stories, and then it's okay. It's time to go into the room. And she's now, since she's learning how to talk, she wants to say goodnight to everything.
Oh,
She'll say
cute.
she'll say good night, Daddy, and she'll say, good night, Kitty, good night, Wall. So, yeah.
Man. Have you have Good Night Moon? I'm assuming that book, Good Night Moon.
No, I don't think so.
No. Oh
no
man,
Good Night Moon.
Good Night Moon
No.
is the most fucked up book ever to read as an adult. It is fucking creepy. It's weird. There's an old lady whispering hush for some reason and a bowl full of mush that nobody's doing anything with. It's just sitting there. It's weird. It's messed up. I think it's haunted.
No.
That book is haunted.
There's a book called But Not the Hippopotamus.
Uh-huh.
It's like literally this is a published book, and it's like the toad is on the road, with the fold, but not the hippopotamus. The bear is in the clear where whatever it is, like it just rhymes like these really stupid rhymes, but then on the last part it's just but not the hippopotamus.
Brought to you by the same people who made the What Smells Like Blue Paint.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What
What
that?
smells like blue paint?
Yeah.
Hey, what's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint.
Red paint.
Red paint. Yeah.
I'm dead. I'm dead now.
Hey, it kind of goes along with, farming simulator. What'd the farmer say when he lost his tractor?
What?
Hey, where's my tractor?
Oh. Why am I on this podcast?
Yeah, I don't know.
Where's my pigs, man?
That's it. We're leaving. Tuesday, it's up to you. Hold down the fort. We're gone.
Hold it down. Pour some sauce on it.
I got you. Drowning in sauce over here. Y'all know I got it.
Drowning in sauce. I don't even know how to segue that. Just Steve, what the hell have you been playing?
I've been playing, of course, Fallout 76. A ton of it, in fact. So much so
somebody's joined you.
Yeah. I had a partner in crime by the name of Dan.
Yes,
we did since we last recorded. We've now gotten together twice. We've had 2 mandates on Fallout 76. Mm-hmm. And I've been dragging you through the wasteland, killing things, and forcing you to level up as quickly as possible to get to the cool stuff.
Mm-hmm. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really has been a lot of fun. The game works well as a multiplayer game. It does, I think, fall apart when it comes to storytelling and multiplayer at the same time. Case in point, there was one quest that we were on where you couldn't figure out what the next step was. I couldn't see what you were seeing because I had already finished the quest, and you had to kind of read through everything to figure out what the next step was. Which in a multiplayer game, when you're playing with somebody else, I had to essentially just stand there and wait for you to read and comprehend and figure out like what the next thing was. Which it's
you did very obscene emotes getting close to my body while I was reading stuff.
The most obscene that I possibly could.
Yeah, because remember I was bent over and
and I was behind you. It just
got weird.
It was really weird, but that's the wasteland. I mean, when in the wasteland, you got to get weird.
Sounds like an end date went
That's
really
a good title
well.
for this episode.
Yeah, I was left satisfied.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm so glad. I'm so happy. That's only 5 caps. I'll make you happy. Yeah. So as a multiplayer game, when we were running around, killing things, and the questing was fairly simple, it was really smooth and fun. But when it was more of a lore type deal where you had to like sit down and kind of read through what was going on, it bogged down, which is just that's what the game is. So some of it's single player, some of it's multiplayer, but it's all mashed together. But what I did, I after you signed off because you're 2 hours later than me, and I get to stay up super late because I'm an adult and I don't have a bedtime. I decided,
hey, on a weeknight, I can have ice cream like that.
like that, motherfucker, like that. So I decided that I was going to go after some of the super rare stuff, the super hard to get stuff. And one of them being the Nuka-Cola Quantum paint job for the XO1 power armor suit, which if you are a fan of the old Fallout, it's the advanced power armor. That was introduced in Fallout 2 and has also been in 3, 4, and now 76. It's the Enclave style power armor. To get the plans, because everything in the game that you craft has to do with plans. If you have the plans, you can craft it. So to get the plans to do this crafting, there was this insane unlabeled mission that the only reason why I even knew it existed was because of somebody on the internet saying, here's how you do it. And what's cool is they upped their game from the other Nuka-Cola power armor, which was just the T51B. It's just like Nuka-Cola all over it. And that was like an unmarked quest that you just kind of have to run backwards through until you get to the thing. It's too complicated to really talk about, but it's guaranteed. If you run through the quest, if you figure out how to do it, you are guaranteed the plans. The other armor, this Nuka-Cola Quantum armor paint, it is a world drop where if it had already been picked up on that server, you're not going to be able to get it. So they built in some limited use out of it, which is kind of cool, I think, because eventually we'll just run out, and the only way to get it will be through other players that already have it. So you had to get a key card from one side of the map, a key card from the other side of the map, find an access code in a suitcase at another part of the map. You take those three things, go to a building, use the two key cards. 3 seconds within a 3-second window, like to slide these two key cards. I'm sorry. Let me back up a step. Before you just slide the key cards, you have to go to another location, sign in, get a one-time access code that your character doesn't remember. You have to physically write it down, and it's a 6-digit code.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the access code. You've got the two key cards. Then you go to a place. You slide the two key cards within 3 seconds of each other. That pop opens a hidden door. You go in the hidden door. There's a keypad. You put in your 6-digit keypad, or your six-digit one-time use number. After that, another secret door opens, and you go in there, and then there are keys. Now, I believe the keys are the world drop, where if you open that up and there are no keys there, there will never be any keys there. I opened it up. I got the keys. Cool. There's this location in the game with these. There are, I think, 8 or 9 domes. They're called TNT domes. It's this like waste management place, and apparently this is like a real life thing with these giant concrete domes that like nuclear waste or whatever nonsense is locked in, and nobody has access to it. Well, in the game, out of these like 9 or 10 domes, you go up to the doors and it just says inaccessible, right? 2 of the doors say like, key needed. So some of them just don't have anything behind them, but 2 of them do. And so this, Dome 7, I believe, is the dome that I got the key to, and inside were the plans for the paint job that then I could apply to my power armor. That is the kind of thing that Fallout 76 is hiding from everybody, which I find just infinitely interesting.
Yeah, those things, like, unless you're really, really, really paying attention and looking and all of that, it's like nobody else would get that.
It's definitely unmarked quests that are built to be word of mouth. And then in the age of the internet, you just look it up on YouTube and then there's a walkthrough. So, that first one, everyone has, or it's pretty easy to find a walkthrough and get that first power armor skin. But the second one, the fact that it's a world drop, like that just ups the game a little bit, where you tell your buddies, here's this complicated thing that you got to do. And it takes time and you have to remember this number or write it down or whatever. And then you could do all that and then get nothing out of it. Right. And you're spending cap. Like if you're doing fast travel across the map, you're spending a bunch of caps. Like this is a, 200 caps worth of fast travel or several hours worth of trekking through the wasteland. So anyways, it's interesting. I played some Fallout 76, played some with Dan. It's a good game. Moving on. I played one other game within the past 2 weeks, which I'm kind of disappointed I didn't get to play more, but there's a game. It's out on the Xbox Game Pass. It's called, I hope I get this right, What Remains of Edith Finch, I believe. Yeah,
that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
That won a lot of awards like a year ago.
Holy shit, is that a great game. I haven't finished it yet. It's a walking simulator, essentially, but the story told in that game is goddamn amazing. It is so good.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a walking simulator type game. So you're in there. Your character is this granddaughter of Edith Finch, and she has inherited this old house. And her grandfather liked to help to build the house. There's just the whole the whole thing is just story, right? So this house, to kind of try not to spoil anything, this house is full of locked doors and secret passageways and rooms connected to other rooms through, weird means and all this stuff. And so it seems like, and this is not revealed in the story yet, that you, as the player and as the granddaughter, you've inherited the house and you are finally given a key to a door that growing up you were never allowed to go into. and that starts you off like on this journey of discovery through the house and through the locked doors. And the weird thing about the family is that they have bad luck, and a lot of them are dead, or most of them are dead. And so when they died, their room was sealed up. And so as you're walking through this mansion, like some of these rooms you've only ever seen like through the peephole that, you know, someone put in there, like, oh, this is, you know, my uncle, whoever, that I don't, like, no one ever talks about, but looking at the peephole, I can see, you know, this and that. But now, like, as an adult, you're going through going like, okay, well, now I get to learn about my family. So there's no like, it is in first person. There's no real puzzles involved. There's like very, very simple puzzles, and only a couple of them. It's pretty much like you go through and you experience the story, and the way the story is told, every one of your every one of your ancestors, your ancestors, when you go into their room, you find like this little shrine that's like the person that laid them, that, you know, built the little shrine, or you know, and I say shrine like it's not creepy, it's just like, here's like a remembrance kind of deal. And like the character goes through, starts reading, and then it like kind of fades out, and then you get to play as that ancestor while the story about their life is being read, and you're kind of playing through a key moment in their life. And it is utterly interesting. It is a fascinating game. It is so well done. There is one of them is absolutely heartbreaking. Like, it affected me that I'm still a little shaken because of it. It was so good.
Did you have to stop the game?
I didn't have to stop the game. No, but I could see how some people definitely would, especially, and this is not fantastical, right? It's not like, oh, and then zombies came and ate my uncle. Like, it's not that. It's all stuff that is real, right?
So it really could happen. It's not far-fetched.
Right, exactly. Like, it's far-fetched in the sense that, like, every single member of this family has died in a weird way. Like, that's the part that's far-fetched. But like, they're not so weird that they're impossible. Right, like, for example, one kid who's like a rebel. There's a wedding going on the grounds of the house, and he's out flying a kite. And they keep yelling for him to like come over to the wedding, come over to the reception, and he, you know, gives him the finger and says no. This is set in like the late 80s, and you're on this island, and then like a storm rolls in, and all the stuff that's set out for the wedding starts getting knocked around, until like a big thing like flips over and like hits him and kills him. It's a weird event, but it's not impossible, right? He was out where he wasn't supposed to be in a storm, and like a big tent thing hit him and killed him. Like, okay, but gameplay wise, go ahead.
No, that kind of reminds me of have you guys ever heard of the Darwin Awards?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so Steve, stop me if I'm wrong, but the way that I believe the Darwin Awards are out there is people who have died in very, very strange ways.
Strange ways in like they're being stupid, and it's being
extremely stupid. So like for example, I'll go through two of them that are two of my favorites, and I can't pick one that I like better than the other. One of them was this guy wanted to make a water slide for his pool, so he took a tarp, ran it from his second story window of his house into his pool.
Why do I already know where this is going?
Took a hose and put the hose down so it could create a water, and about 2 or 3 of his friends jumped on the tarp and they all fell and died. So, but my favorite one, if I had to absolutely choose one of them, this is my favorite one. So a guy wanted to commit suicide in a very, very weird, like, way that people would like almost think it was a mystery of, you know, was it a murder? Was it whatever?
Okay.
So his thought was that he was going to find a tree that was hanging over part of a cliff. Okay. And he was going to hang himself, but he didn't want to feel the pain of hanging himself. So as he hung himself, he was going to shoot himself in the face. Okay.
Okay.
So he ties the rope around his neck, okay? Puts it on the tree, jumps off the tree, hits gets to the point where he tries to hit the shotgun. The shotgun misses him. It hits the rope, breaks the rope, okay? So now he's falling down off the cliff, survives the fall, okay? People see this. They call the ambulance. The ambulance picks him up. The ambulance gets into a car crash on the way to the hospital.
Whoa.
The guy gets transferred to another ambulance, makes his way to the hospital. Guy dies of hypothermia.
What?
Wow.
Yeah. That is my favorite one that I read of all time. If I had to pick one, that's my favorite one.
That's amazing. That deserves an award. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you just look them up, the Darwin Awards, they're given out all the time. It is just really stupid ways that people have died.
I'm proud of him for that. Like, that's kind of an okay legacy.
He wanted to be known for something, and he certainly is now.
He's definitely known for that.
Yeah.
Basically could have died 4 times, but dies of hypothermia.
That's great. That's just great.
I hate when that happens.
What remains of Edith Finch is something that you would say if you're looking for a good story.
Oh, 100%. That is it's a story. Yeah, you're living through a story. Yeah. So I was going to explain like a little bit of the gameplay real quick. So besides just wandering through the house, that one scenario that I described, the gameplay while that stuff's being said to you, words are appearing in the sky as you're in first person flying a kite around, and you have to like take the kite and kind of paint over the words, and after you paint over them, the narrator reads them off, like, and then they like follow the kite around, and so then you have like this trail of letters following the kite around, and like the next part of the story isn't told until you fly the kite over the next bit of words. And so not really a puzzle, but it's extremely interactive. I put it that way. There are no puzzles in the game, but it is interactive storytelling to an extent. But I've absolutely love it. I've played through, as you find your family members, she opens up this little journal and like writes them in this family tree. I played for about 2.5 hours, and most of the names are filled in. So I have a feeling it's not a very long game. I probably have another hour, maybe hour and a half until it's done. So it's definitely a shorter experience, but is it worth it? Nice. It is 100% worth it. It's a good game.
Nice.
That is all I've played the last couple of weeks.
Awesome.
So
just to kind of go over the awards that you're talking about, or that it actually has won. It's actually been nominated for what looks like over 25 different awards in less than 2 years.
Oh, awesome.
And it's won at the Game Award 2017. It won Best Narrative at the National Academy of Video Game Trade Reviewers Awards. It won Game Original Adventure and then Lighting and Texture.
It is beautiful game as well. Yeah, like that deserves an award for sure.
South by Southwest Gaming Awards, it won Excellence in Narrative. Game Developers Choice Awards, it won for Best Narrative. The 14th British Academy Game Awards, which I never knew actually existed until tonight. It won Best Game, and then in 2018, it won Games for Change Awards. It won Best Gameplay.
Huh. Awesome.
Yeah, so I didn't realize that there was just many video game shows. That's pretty cool. Yeah. Awesome. So
what have you been playing, or did you already say what you've been playing?
No, I haven't. Fallout 76. Like I said, like Steve, like you have been saying, I've played that. Actually, every time I've played Fallout 76, where I put substantial time into it, you've actually joined me.
Awesome.
As far as that goes, I think I finally finished my build on my computer.
Nice. LEDs everywhere?
I have LEDs and RGBs and OFGs and 99 threes and I don't know.
OM.
Can you land a plane on it?
Actually, I think you probably could. I have a total. So I had. Let's just put it this way. I started with one fan, normal RAM, and a 1060 GPU. And by the end of this, I put an Elgato capture card in there. I put a 2060 MSI GPU in there. 6 RGB L120 LL Corsair 120 lights. Two Vengeance Pro sticks that are RGB for RAM. And I put in a Lighting Node Pro to have fun lights around the casing go off.
Awesome.
I learned a lot about how to do things. Oh, and I put a new power brick in there too.
Oh,
because for some reason, all of this would not run without more power.
Imagine.
No, I learned a lot about PC management and all of that. It's been something I've kind of wanted to get into. So I'm kind of happy. This has been 2 months now.
Cool.
So yeah, so I'm really kind of happy that it's actually at the point now that I can say I think it's done.
Oh, good.
So I did that
until better and more brighter lights come out.
Probably. I don't know. I think my next excursion is going to be getting rid of these 2 monitors and going to one big, nice, wide monitor.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I really want one of those. So maybe a Christmas Black Friday gift to myself.
Cool.
Yeah, so I did that. What else have I played? I played a little bit of the Division 2, nothing substantial, just kind of popped it on, played it for a bit, and I'm like, oh, okay, time to turn it off. And then I purchased World War Z, which on PC, which is like, so, have you ever seen the movie World War Z?
Yes.
No, but I read the book.
Okay,
Right.
It has absolutely nothing to do with the book or the movie.
What the hell?
What? Why?
Like, there's nothing. Like, the only big thing that they have is that the zombies actually like create the wall zombies where they climb on each other.
Okay.
That's really about it.
I'm kind of already disappointed with it.
Well, let's put it this way. Hey, I'm thinking you guys have played Left 4 Dead.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It is Left 4 Dead, I think, on a much prettier and broader scale. To me, like, Left 4 Dead always felt like they put all the zombies together and they like jellied together. So, like, when you were shooting, you kind of just aimed blindlessly, and then it would knock down whatever it wanted to.
Wait, blindlessly? Is that a word? I'm calling shenanigans on that.
There you blindly. Go. Whatever. Thank you, grammar police.
Blindlessly, I like that.
Like, to me, it never felt like the shooting was really that great in Left 4 Dead.
Okay.
And maybe they could just be me or whatever. Like, in this, like, it's legitimate that you actually have to hit zombies. Like, if you hit them in the leg, their leg pops off. If you hit them in the arm, their arm pops off. But they still come after you.
I'm watching a little bit of footage of it, and it looks impressive, but is it fun?
It is a hell of a lot of fun.
Okay.
If you're looking at getting in there. Now, the other thing, too, is that everybody thinks this is release. It's early access release. Okay, so you're still developing for it. Okay. Like right now, so like you have different scenarios that you can play through. 4 different places that have 4 different scenarios, or 3 different scenarios that you can play through. So it's a lot of a grind, and you can build up certain characters and build up certain classes of characters. So you have a healer, and you have an assassin, you have a gunzerker, so it's like whatever type of character you want to play as. And then they will have different skills that, as you progress and you replay these levels, and on higher difficulty, you get obviously more experience. Then you can use that to level up your character and get more stuff and become more of a badass type sort of thing. So there's a progression system into it that Left 4 Dead never had.
Okay.
with people, you have to play this game with people. This is not a game that you play by yourself. Like, you play by yourself just to get better, but to experience the most fun is to actually have 3 other players playing with you. There is a multiplayer, which I won't get into. I haven't really dabbled too much into the multiplayer. Like, where it's competitive multiplayer, so it's like team deathmatch or whatever with the zombies, which is kind of interesting. But like I said, I haven't played it enough to really kind of make any type of determination on it. But as far as what I've played, the game's a lot of fun. If you're just looking for a fun game to go through, take on a whole bunch of zombies that are coming at you, blow shit up, see a lot of blood, see a lot of body parts flying all over the place, it's a great game.
Watching this video, it does look like the way the zombies are. It's almost like fluid. It's almost like the way that they're running around the environment. It's like a waterfall, or it's like a flood or something. It's interesting. It's that's new. I like that.
Yeah, it's very crisp. It's very clean. I think that's the best way to say it. It's but then again too, you're looking at how old is Left 4 Dead compared to. I mean, that's apples and oranges almost at this point. Correct. So, but it's just a lot of fun. It looks gorgeous. It's big. It's fun. It's I could definitely see where there's going to be work to be done with it. To actually get it to actually get, I don't want to say become a decent game, but because I think it's already a decent game, but to get it to where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Where I think it will be. And that's the nice thing, is that with being able to upgrade these games now and all of that, like I said, it's a lot of fun.
I see Epic Game Store badge on this website.
Yes, it is only Epic Game Store.
Xbox One and then Epic Games.
Yeah, it's only Epic Game Store.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I know that people are shitting over the Epic Game Store, but which we won't really get too much into, but I have yet to see an issue with it. I've actually gotten 4 games off of it, and it's playing fine. I haven't had any issues.
Okay, good deal.
So that's what I've been playing. But I would say let's get into, since we're talking about zombies, even though they don't want to call them zombies, they're called freakers in this game. This game comes out on Friday, which I'm looking very much forward to.
Well, I'm sorry, freakers? What?
Yeah, they're called freakers. They're not called zombies, they're called freakers.
But the title of the game is World War Z. Z is for zombie.
I'm saying the game we're going to talk about. We're off of World War Z.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I was like, what the hell?
Where the fuck have you been?
All right. Okay,
I was going to let him keep going with it. I wanted to see if he could maybe logic his way into why we went from Z to freakers.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure it out.
So World War Z, they are called zombies.
Okay.
And this new game that's coming out on this Friday, of what we're recording right now, the 26th of April, is Days Gone.
Ah, okay.
And those ones are called freakers.
Sure.
They're zombies. They're always going to be zombies. No matter what you say, they're going to be zombies. In fact, the Wikipedia this is the line. The game takes place 2 years after the global pandemic occurred, which killed almost all of humanity and transformed millions of others into freakers, mindless zombie-like creatures.
Yes, zombie-like. So like zombies.
Their rationale is that zombies are dead. These people are not dead. They're still living. They're just changed.
Okay, sure.
Got it.
Whatever.
Cool. Whatever. It's going to be a shit ton of zombies, freakers that you get to blow the fuck up. And I call me a sap for it, but I love zombie games. I don't think there's been enough zombie games.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like
right.
I would play a zombie game times zombie game. Like I don't like slow moving zombie games.
Oh.
So like Dead Island. Like I care less.
Dying what about the mall one?
Dead Rising? Dead Rising is great to play, especially when you're drunk.
Oh, okay.
Because you have no idea if you're winning or losing. It's just fun.
Okay.
There was a time that I did play drunk, and I woke up and I turned on my game, and all I had a mask, like it was like the round head mask, like it looked like a Lego blockhead mask,
Sure. Yeah.
and my underwear.
It was a
Or
good night.
I was in underwear. So
What was your character on the game doing?
let's not get into that. No, I mean it's just. I mean it was in the mall. It was in the middle of clothes, all of that, and all of that. And I think at some point I don't know how I did it, but I was just in a pair of underwear.
Neat.
So yeah, neat. So like I had fun with that, but I think the one that I have been kind of like really, really wanting to play, and I've always said this since it is like this game is straight a Walking Dead game. It is a Sons of Anarchy meets Walking Dead game. I mean, it really is.
Yeah, that's what it looks like for sure. I'm looking at screenshots right now, and it looks compelling. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, for God's sake, the main character's name is Deacon St. John.
Yeah, Deacon St. John.
Deacon St. John. But I mean, if it has it's supposedly supposed to be brutal as The Walking Dead is. Supposedly he's a part of a motorcycle gang and all of that, or a motorcycle club, and so I mean, and I think Sony's putting a lot. Obviously, Sony's putting a lot into it. So I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's a great adventure game where you can go explore and you kill a whole shit ton of zombies or freakers. And it just to me it just looks fun. It looks fun it looks like it's finally a serious zombie like survival game.
Now, what do you have to say about the hours of cinematics that are apparently in the game?
I love it.
Okay.
I mean, you're talking to a guy that loved Metal cinematics that were 45 minutes long.
Cool. Awesome.
So I have no problem if the game is good and the story is good. I have no problem. I have no problem as long as that story can compel me to keep playing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it, because before you know it, it's going to be like, holy shit, what did I just watch? Like, look at to me, The Last of Us.
Yes.
The Last of Us was a great game, and you realize that there was a lot of narrative in that. There's so much narrative in that.
Oh yeah, yeah. But that game, oh man, ooh, that was so good. So I think the thing that I would be worried about in Days Gone is the gameplay bits that I've seen have, like, you know, the swarming zombie thing going on, which looks fun. I haven't seen a lot of like survival in terms of like I need to find, you know, band-aids and food and water, that kind of stuff. So I don't know, like I have a feeling, a sinking feeling, and I hope that I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but that it will be cutscene and then run away from the zombies, and then cutscene, and then that sets up the next place, and then run away from the zombies. Okay, now cutscene, and instead of it being like a big seamless world of exploration, it's more like a series of set pieces stitched together with cinematics, which, if done well, could be good, but that's not what the game looks like right now, how it's being advertised. So I don't know. I have no idea how it's going to go.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
And I'm not saying that it's comparable to it, because obviously, and maybe we can, but you know, maybe I think we got to play it first. It reminds me of Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, there's a lot of cinematic in Red Dead Redemption 2, but there's times that you could go, and how long could you free roam?
Oh yeah, you could free roam indefinitely as long as you don't take that mission to start the cinematic. You could just do whatever you want. Yeah,
and that's what I'm thinking is with this. Like, but then, you know, see, like there's this other thing too that games have kind of gone into, is that you'll walk into something and then without a loading screen, like that's one thing that like Assassin's Creed did all the time. Like you would go over and you say, okay, I'm going to start this mission, and then they give you a loading screen, and then you'd have a cinematic and then loading screen, and then you start the mission. Like to me, this is like it progresses in to a mission.
That's cool. That'd be awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh,
Yeah.
here, I'm going to go talk to this guy. I'm going to start talking to this guy. I'm going to get some information. Okay, now I'm on my way. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going and I'm on my way. So, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I really hope that it's. I mean, I know that people are going to shit on it. I know that some people are going to think that it's great. I know that some people are going to probably think that it's crap. I mean, that's just how reviews go. That's how reviews now are going. But if there's a 30 plus hours, which I think there is 30, 40 hours of me being able to wander around and at some point become so powerful enough that I can just fuck with a whole bunch of freakers, I'm in.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. This
Sounds
is why
like a good time.
This is why, Steve, you need to get a PS4. So do you, Tuesday. So we can play these games. So we can play these games and talk online.
I accept all forms of donation to the Get Steven a PS4 fund.
We're going to kickstart this.
We'll kickstart it. We'll.
I need to get on this Kickstarter as well.
GoFundMe,
the GoFundMe, yeah, all that. We'll do all of them together. You and me, Tuesday. We'll go in together. We'll get 2 consoles. You know who probably has 2 consoles sitting around? Jesus. Where is he anyway?
I don't know where Jesus is.
Where's Jesus when you need him?
Jesus, where are you? My only hope.
No, we don't know. And
Jesus, help the needy.
So he said what 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago, he was late for this, and I think he's probably still asleep. He's been working a lot though. So
he's been working a ton. He's got a mortgage now. So
yeah, he's got a mortgage. So and your car payment Tuesday, Jesus has got a mortgage payment.
Oh shit!
Oh, throwing it down.
Okay. All right. Well, I still have student loan debt, so here we are.
So much debt.
Welcome to my life. Student loan, 2 cars, and a house. Fuck you all.
Guess what, Tuesday? You can't crash a house. Ha ha ha.
I take that.
Oh, that's so bad.
Challenge
Really?
accepted. Challenge accepted.
Let's not do Dan's house though. Don't crash Dan's house.
Let's crash
That was
Dan's
number
house.
1 on the house crashing list. Are you kidding me?
It seemed. Wait, historically, it's very easy to crash Dan's house. You just wait for a birthday party and you walk right in.
You had to go there.
I did.
You had to go there.
Apparently, so did.
So did what?
Apparently, so did that guy. He just had to go to your house. Just had to go there.
Yeah.
I got the court date for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like they wanted me. Like the guy was going to walk unless I showed up and I testified. And they're like, "You're the only person that's going to testify." And I'm like, "Now this guy's going to know what house he actually walked into because he was higher and drunker than whatever."
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, I'll pass. So I never showed up for the court date.
Oh,
Look at
Like
you
I was
skipping court dates.
I was waiting for like the subpoena to come. Like I was waiting to show up at work, and then like out of nowhere over like the overhead speaker have like the Law and Order like boom boom happen, and then they walk in and they'd be like, "Are you Dan?" I'd be like, "Yeah." They're like, "Where were you on this time?" And we know that you have a court date, so why don't you testify? And it's give the whole long speech, and then I don't know what I would do. Give that one look where you never know. Everybody knows that person testify, but then they have to cut to commercial with them looking like up in the air. Tell me you guys watch Law and Order and you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Nope. But
you don't watch Law and Order?
No. Were you waiting for a
What?
commercial break in real life? Is that what you were? Is that where you were going for that in that scenario?
I'm always on a commercial break in real life. So no, there's God, I forgot who the comedian. I think it was John Mulaney that came up with
I love that guy.
And he's talking about Law and Order, and he's always talking about he's like yeah, out of everything they go over and they have to talk to that one bartender or that one guy that's stacking boxes in the middle of the road and ask him, "Do you remember seeing this person?" And out of everybody in New York, they all remember seeing that one person.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Law and Order is wonderful. No, Not that we're advertising for it, but watch Law and Order.
You might like it.
So yeah, so needless to say, I didn't show up for the court date. I figured, the guy, he walked in, maybe he's just down on his luck. Maybe this was it was a Saturday that he went to jail. I know he didn't get arraigned until at least Tuesday, because Monday was a holiday after that. So the guy spent at least 3 days in jail, and it's just like, maybe he got the help that he needed.
Hope so. Yeah.
I'm being optimistic here. And speaking of optimistic things, have you guys heard about the Discless?
I was optimistic about the first thing you had going there.
The Xbox S All Digital Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys heard about this?
Yeah, there's no place to put your dick in.
That's a real deal breaker for me personally.
I can see that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday, you just never seem to not surprise me every episode. So long story short, obviously this is a 1 terabyte system. It's all digital. There's no disk drive. The disk drive is completely taken out. It's $249. So it's $50 cheaper than a disc. How do you say non-discless?
Disc full?
Disc full? A Xbox that has a disc drive.
A standard Xbox?
A standard, yeah, exactly.
Chock full of dicks.
It's going to be available May 7th. It's $50 cheaper. I think the funny part about this is that there was one group of people that actually tore it down and opened it up, and they found out, okay, that there is still an eject button. Supposedly, I don't see it on here, but supposedly there's still an eject button, and that all they did was they took the disk drive out, and the SATA. Like, anybody who's a little computer savvy knows that a lot of power supplies for different computer parts has a connection called a SATA connection. Mm-hmm. The SATA connection's there. It's like they got a new top without a disk drive, took the discs out of a whole bunch of Xboxes and repackaged them without the disk drive.
Well, that seems like the most cost-effective way to do this.
Honestly.
I mean, you're buying new cases and using less interior components. They don't have to manufacture anything new. They just, except for the plastic case, which is no big deal. So for them, they're just figuring out a way to print money. So why not?
Yeah, I mean,
I guess I don't know.
I don't know who it's for. Who's it for?
It's for people who are missing $50.
Man, I wish I could get this Xbox. If only I had $50 more. Oh,
look, now I can get this.
Oh,
now,
wait. All right, they got me.
Where's the dick hole at? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who it's for, really. I think this is more of an experiment than anything else. They don't have much to lose. They didn't have to put almost zero R&D into this thing, according to the teardown. So just to see, hey, is this going to move systems or not? It could be too that on the back end, the Xboxes have not been selling as well as they thought. So they could just have a bunch of warehouses full of Xboxes. They go, how do we move these things? Well, let's just rip the disk drive out of it, repackage it, and see if that sells. I mean, that's better than it just sitting in a warehouse doing absolutely nothing. So I'm looking. Who's it for? I don't know. I don't know exactly. People who are way against discs, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, down with the movement of discs. I
don't know.
Well, I do find it funny. So, how I'm looking at Xbox.com, and you know how when people will put out different versions of whatever, that they'll they have the three of them. So they have the Xbox One X, they have the Xbox One S, and then they have the Xbox One S All Digital Edition. And it's okay, play the best games from the past, present, and future. Check for all three of them. So
yeah, they all do the exact same thing.
So ready. So they have on here disc-free gaming All three of them are checked. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then if you go down, there's a line that says play physical game discs. Xbox One X, Xbox One S. Nothing for the all digital.
Right.
Enjoy 4K Ultra Blu-ray discs.
Oh
Same
no.
thing. And then right under that, does not play physical discs. The Xbox One X and the Xbox One S don't have it, but then the check mark does for the all digital. It's like way to fill like 3 inches of website space.
Yeah, you have to advertise to the lowest common denominator. Like if you are looking on a website to figure out which Xbox you want, and like you hadn't read any articles or listened to any podcasts about it, and you're like, where's the checkboxes at? I need to figure this out. I don't know.
I would love to have a camera in like a GameStop or a Best Buy or a Fry's or wherever, and just have it on the people that are buying this, and then how many come back within the week that yell that there's no disk drive.
Yeah. You know what's great is when you see when someone's buying the all digital edition and like 5 games with it, like with the boxes and discs. Like, this not gonna work.
So I'm gonna ask my friend. He's a manager at GameStop. I'm gonna ask him to keep an eye on this for me.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. Get man on the street. Yeah, we'll figure this one out.
We have a buddy in the Discord that actually works at a GameStop. So I'll shoot a message to him and say, okay, hey, we want to know how many people actually come back pissed off that this doesn't play discs.
There's probably like a corporate mandate or something that'll be like alert the person about what's going on here. Like you have to tell them because otherwise they'll just lose stock with people. With dumb people.
It does say I know that on the packaging of it, it does say this does not play physical discs.
So the question they're going to get then is I want to buy this. This is the cheapest one, but how do I get my games on there? What do I do next? Like the dummies are going to like just be so confused. Are the games already in there? What do I do? How do I get them?
If I shake it, will they fall out?
There's a big chance that copies of Fallout 76 will fall out of it. They add it to something.
And I don't remember if we talked about this. I know we talked about possible like Ultimate Game Pass edition thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, they announced like it's a big deal that they announced it. They went over and they said, "Oh yeah, okay, so Game Pass is now going to be bundled with gold, and it's going to be $15 a month." And I'm thinking to myself, and they're like, "That's such a great bundle," and I'm like, "No, it's not," because think of it. What is 12 times 5?
60.
60.
Yeah.
So how much is 1 year of Xbox Gold, Live Gold? $60. Okay. Yeah. How much is Game Pass a month right now?
$10.
So $10 a month plus $5 a month equals $15 a month. You're not getting a bundle. All you're doing is you're paying them a subscription fee.
Well, yeah, they're changing the model.
Yeah, they're changing the model of it. It's just like,
I mean, to tout that as like, look at this great deal. It's. I mean, to sit down and explain to somebody, it's actually the exact same that you were paying before, but now you're just paying it in a different way. Yeah. It's much more marketable to say like, oh, brand new, blah blah blah. But I'm kind of for it. I kind of like the idea of a subscription model. A lot of things are going subscription now. Most things are subscription, and it's easier to comprehend a monthly deduction from your, all of our meager earnings than a once a year, dump of money. For example, for me, way back when I got my Xbox 360 and I first started the my Xbox Gold account, it was after Christmas time because I got the 360 for Christmas, and then it took me like a month to be like, oh, I really do want Gold, because it was like it was a brand new service and I didn't know if I was going to use it or not. And so I got it in like February. So now every year in like the middle of February, when I least expect it, $60 gets pulled out of my account. And every year without fail, it's after the holidays. I'm broke because I spent all my money buying wonderful gifts for all the people I know and love.
And I've yet to get a gift from you for Christmas.
Like I said, the people I know and love.
So I'm getting one this year then, right?
Oh yeah, all kinds of sauce. I get
Yes!
the whole bucket full of sauce.
Yes.
So it's a pain in the ass, is what it is. Because every year I forget about it, and every year it happens right when I have the least amount of money in my accounts because the holidays just happen. It's not just the holidays. In my family, like my birthday and my daughter's birthday, and then there's Christmas. And like all of these things happen between October and December. There's like 20 events that happen, in my immediate and extended family. It's crazy time of year for us. And so then February hits and I'm like, okay, finally all that's done. Boom, another $60. Like, damn it, I wasn't expecting that. And it happens every year. So all that to say, I am definitely going to switch over to the monthly because I can figure out, to spread that $60 out to 12 months. Personally makes more sense. And so it's nice that they're giving you the option and not saying like, oh, this is also, $1 cheaper to do it this way to like try and get people to do it. It's just another option, which they're not marketing it that way. So it seems kind of cheesy when you figure out like there's no deal here. It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact that they're offering it.
Yeah. I think the thing that kind of bothers me is that it's like, don't call it a deal. Just say, we now have a subscription base.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm saying. It's not a deal, but whatever. I mean, I don't know. I feel the same way if PlayStation and Nintendo was doing it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So what about you, Tuesday? What do you think? You think bomb or what's your
thought? So you actually cut out there for a sec.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm saying, do you think it's going to bomb? What do you think you think it's actually going to do well? What do you think?
No, I'm pro prescription. I'm pro Woo!
Pro prescription. Got it.
Got it. Know where you're coming from. Neat.
Tuesday's contact information is here. Just let her know what you need.
But also, please donate to my funds.
There you go.
No, I'm very pro the subscription service. I'm kind of like in the same boat where, I guess when I was subscribing to things like the Xbox Gold back when I had my 360, and it was always that like surprise of like, you thought you had money, but actually, no.
Nope.
I'm very much like the month by month type of person too, because sometimes I go through phases where I'm the type of person I might not use the online so much. Like I might be really into just playing a game that's like a single player type of deal, and I might not want the online.
I wonder how easy they're going to let us turn this on and off, right? So
That's
like you're just saying, if some really good single player games come out, like I'm not going to be doing any multiplayer stuff for a month at least. Can I just turn this off for a month and save $15? Or is it going to be like, well, when you sign off, then we prepaid for a month. So then, and it's like a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo to be like, it's actually easier if you just let it roll over.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess
Nintendo does too with the cards, right?
like the prepaid card thing?
Yeah. You could do it that way.
Okay. That makes sense. I guess, the other thing is that I'm using like the Netflix and the Hulu and the Amazon, and like a lot of those things require you to have gold in order to access them. So I probably need to have my gold on all the time anyway for my other stuff. So
yeah,
that probably won't work anyway. Oh well.
I don't necessarily know if I think you guys make sense with the subscription thing. As far as the console goes, like I said, I think the thing is who you're actually going to sell it to. Like, who's actually going to want to have an all digital Xbox?
I think there's a small portion of the population that wants to be all digital. I know some people they will only do digital because they try to like have minimalistic lives. So all of their digital or all of their media is digital or not at all. So, I think there is some people out there that this would super appeal to, but this is not the majority at all. And the only way this will become the majority is if this gets like $100 price slash, and it's like the cheapest thing on the market by the next holiday season. if that happens, then I think more people will be like, oh, you know what? This thing is super cheap. It's cheaper than any other system out there. And oh, look, only $15 a month. And I've got Game Pass and I've got Gold and I can hook up my Netflix to it. And, might as well. Right. Like if it gets to that point where it's like a shrug, might as well. Like between this or an Apple TV or something, and I only have to pay a little bit more and I get all these games and stuff. Maybe that's the deal for me. I think at the price point it's at now, it's a niche market. If they are able to lower it a bunch, then I think it'll be like how the Wii was, where like everybody had one because it was cheap enough and it was just good enough and just fun enough that everybody just, hey, I'll just have this.
It makes sense because I think what they're trying to do, I think you're right. If they're releasing it in May, so what happens in 6 months? It's November. November becomes Christmas shopping. So now it's a lot easier to say, hey, we're going to put this thing that we had for 6 months at $250. We're now going to put it at $200. We're now going to put it at $150 for
$199.99.
Yeah, for the Christmas time. It makes sense.
The thing there that'll shoot him in the foot is you can't bundle it with a game because you can't put the game in.
Well, you can bundle it with a pre-game code
or pre-install. Digital code, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
So, speaking of consoles, and we'll kind of get into this. Will be the last thing that we talk about tonight. Is Mark Cerny has actually come out. Now, if you know who Mark Cerny is,
who
he's a very tall, soft-spoken guy. Like this, that works for PlayStation, that has worked for PlayStation for a long time. That's literally how he talks, if you've ever listened to him. He's extremely intelligent, though. I will not lie. He is extremely, extremely smart, extremely intelligent. He was the key architect of the Next Gen Console when it came to the PlayStation 4. So he's not surprising with how the PlayStation 4 has just blown up the way it has. It's not surprising that they went back to him to develop for the PlayStation 5. He just called it the Next Gen Console. He never called it the PlayStation 5.
Oh, interesting.
Which I'm not surprised because they didn't reveal the name of the PlayStation 4 until they actually had the reveal of the PlayStation 4. There was a whole thing about the PlayStation 3 also. I think it was the PlayStation 3 because there's something in Japan about the number 3 or the number 4 that means really bad things. I think it's 4. So people are kind of like surprised that it was the PlayStation 4 that they actually named it the PlayStation 4. And if I'm getting that wrong, I apologize. They thought they were going to call it something else. So I don't know. I care less what it's called. It's, if they just say, oh, it's called PlayStation, I really could care less. Yeah. So he talked about, so here are and I don't know if you guys, how good you are with, techie stuff.
A little bit.
But he talked about a lot of kind of cool stuff. So one, he said it's an 8-core AMD chipset based on third generation Ryzen architecture with a GPU taking the Radeon Navi GPU from the Radeon Navi GPU family. So basically what that means, the Ryzen architecture is that it's built for an SSD storage system. So now, once again, going techie, SSD, is a much, much more stable and powerful type of hard drive storage system than the traditional hard drive that we're used to that is in the Xbox Ones, the PlayStation 4s. This is where you get your loading times because they have to load from your storage system. Your SSD actually loads a lot faster.
Yeah, the traditional hard drives are spinning platters, and a SSD is a solid state drive. There are no moving parts, so you just access the information instead
Correct.
of having to search for the information. Yeah,
correct. It has 3D audio. It has a PSVR hardware to it. There's a rumor out there that the PSVR is actually going to be wireless. There's going to be no more wires with it. It has 8K TV support, which I have no idea why. I have yet to see even a TV that can do 8K.
I was just over at a buddy's house helping him with his computer last night, and he has an 8K monitor. And I was like, cool. I have no idea what he's going to use it for, but he has it.
So,
I mean, 4K. How many more Ks do we need? Like the eye can only has a maximum resolution on it. You know, like they can keep selling us Ks, but at a certain point, it's not going to matter unless
Correct.
the screen is bigger. And I can see them like equating 8K into like, oh, well, that's 4K twice. So in the VR, both eyes are getting 4K. Like, like if that's the way that they're pushing the marketing, that would make sense. But I don't know, man. 8K, we don't. Unless you have a giant monitor, you don't need 8K or a giant TV. You'll never see all 8,000 of those pixels. There's no way.
Yeah. There's a couple other things that are going on. One big thing I want to talk about is that the AMD has a CPU and GPU that unlocks. It says what I'm reading it from unlocks the powers of ray tracing. Do you guys know what ray tracing is?
Oh, kind of. I haven't looked into it in a while.
So ray tracing. Now you got to follow me on it. Okay. It's a rendering technique for generating an image by tracing the path of light as pixels in an image plane and simulating the effects of its encounters over visual objects. Okay. So what we're used to whole pixels. So like pixels obviously are little dots. Okay. Mm-hmm. So the more little dots that you can put into a smaller area, the more high def graphics you get. Okay. What I'm thinking ray tracing is, and what they're saying is that you actually have a plane. So everybody knows like a plane is like a flat surface, is that it's lighting that traces over all the pixels so it blends them together. So it creates an image field that's more composed than little pixels. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's more of a solid object.
Yeah,
I can see what you're saying, but I don't. I looked it up. I'm looking it up, and I don't know. I think to define it is a little more difficult than that.
Yeah, all I know is that it's basically blending what I've heard, and I could be completely wrong, but it's blending the pixels together to show a depth of field that's different, and it gives better dimensions or better visual quality, because what you're doing is you're basically scanning the pixels together. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a blending pixels together instead of just them being specifically one. Okay. Which, I mean, right now, I mean, I don't even know if I guarantee we'd be able to see it different, but I'm thrilled to see it. However it is, and how they're going to basically explain it to people.
So the current generation of consoles, it's all about 4K and like how fancy we can have our textures, right? High resolution textures. Mm-hmm. So what Sony is saying with PS5 kind of is that ray tracing is going to be the new hotness, which takes all of that 8K texture stuff and is able to do really good lighting things with it to make it look even more realistic and not just
correct.
Okay.
I think one way of explaining it is that you can have 4K graphics in a game. So like we'll take like 4K graphics, let's take Days Gone. Okay, so that's rendered in 4K. Okay. And if you look really closely, yes, it looks great, but the character still looks like a cartoon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't look necessarily like a person. You can definitely tell it is a generated person.
Yeah.
What ray tracing does is that it's going to blur the line of what looks like a real person it's going to get rid of that cartoonish quality, that animation quality, and it's going to make it look, as if we're watching or playing a live thing.
That'll be great to see if they can pull it off.
If they can, I am all for it. I'm first one in line. And I think the biggest thing that people have been asking for, and they have confirmed it, which is a huge thing, is that it will play PS4 games.
Hey, neat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it will support the PSVR headset hardware from the PS4.
So it sounds like this is more of a upgraded PS4 than anything.
Well, I mean, if they have ray tracing and they're putting in the type of stuff that they are, and they're putting an SSD in there, I would say it's a new console. I would say it's way above just a refresh or an upgrade to the current gen.
It's nice to see that they're saying, oh yeah, PS4 was good and we're still going to support it, in a sense.
Yeah.
With the games and stuff. That's awesome. I'm
just hoping price point is there. Because that's basically what killed the Xbox. You had the Xbox One X, or the Xbox One basically had two horrible things going against them, and that was basically the price point of it coming in at $500. Basically, because all they did was they put on a Kinect that nobody ever wanted to use.
I used my Kinect a little bit,
but once they dropped the Kinect off of it, dropped the price by $100 because that's what the Kinect cost them to put on there. Yeah. And then the second thing was the whole debacle of having to log in every or you game, and you couldn't trade in games, and because it was locked to your account and all that bullshit. So that's what killed them. That's what
I don't remember that. What are you talking about with
you don't remember
games?
That?
No.
So when the Xbox One actually was first announced, okay. So two things. One, it did not support used games. So the game is essentially what you did was you bought a license to the game. Okay. And that license was tied to you.
Okay.
So like when you would put a disc into your drive, it would take that license, kind of like you do with like a computer game. Okay. Like when you had a CD-ROM, or not when you had a CD-ROM, like you have a code. Okay.
Sure.
Like I couldn't, like if you were like down the block and say, hey Dan, you got Fallout 7, so you think I can play it? I couldn't give you the disc. You couldn't put it into your system.
I don't remember this at all.
Oh, yeah.
I have one of these machines.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you couldn't put it in there at all. And then on top of that, your Xbox always had to be online.
Okay.
For you to play your game, you always had to be online, and you had to authenticate, meaning that you had to log in within every 24 hours, or your system could be locked out.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I don't know about that.
Oh yeah. Oh, there was a huge thing about that. In fact, it's one of the best like mic drops, and people make fun of it. If you pull up the last Sony press conference that Jack Tretton ever did, he talks, and it's right before the PlayStation 4 was released. It's like when they started, naming the price and all of that, and when it was going to be, all of that fun stuff. He comes out there and he says, the PlayStation will be this. By the way, you will not have to authenticate it every 24 hours. You will be able to trade them in. When you buy a game that is your game, you can do what you want with it. He even said, I think, to a point where, like, if you feel like putting it on a shelf and leaving it there for all of eternity, you can. No, I mean, he didn't say that, but I mean, basically, right. He said, if you want a person, you want to lend it to a friend, you can do that, or trade it into a retailer. We fully support that. And you don't have to be online at all times. Oh yeah, and basically, by the way, we're $100 cheaper. And people went fucking ballistic. They went nuts at this press conference. And he is just sitting there. He's just smiling the whole time. And then right after that, PlayStation came out with a commercial with Sho Yoshida and Adam Boyles. And they're like, this is how you share games on PlayStation. And they're like, and Show Yoshida's like, here, and he hands Adam Boyles a game, and Adam Boyles turns the camera and goes, thanks, and they go to black screen.
That's messed up.
Oh yeah, I'll find a video. I'll post it in the Discord.
Wow.
Oh, it's so funny. It's so cool.
That stuff. That's cool.
Oh yeah, it's so good. So, I mean, it's promising if they can keep their promises. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things that can change. I mean, we don't have a name for it. We don't have a look for it. We don't even have. The other thing they confirmed is that it's not coming in 2019.
Okay.
So it's not coming this year.
Okay.
So, but that's about it. I mean, that's really kind of what we got about it. But it's a nice little teaser. Hey, yeah, it does exist. We're not going to play these code names of whatever. This is what we're looking at. This is the architecture we're looking at. And we'll kind of just roll from there. You know?
Yeah, they're the king of the hill right now, so they can kind of say what they want to. And
yep. And like I said, I think it's going to come down to people are going to buy a console no matter what it is. People are going to buy the console depending on price point. I think that's always a determining factor. That the games that are going to come out, and then they really care about the graphics and all of that. Because if you can do 4K right now, 4K is still not in everybody's home. It's still not a standard. People are still buying 1080K or 1080p, 1080i, and all of that. So I mean, so to say, oh yeah, we have the most powerful thing, and you're going to have the best graphics and whatever. I don't think people are really looking at that right now. I think they're looking at affordability and what games are actually going to be on it. Am I going to play the games that are there?
Cool. Yep, you're right.
Any final thoughts before we go?
I don't think so.
Nah, I'm good.
You're good.
I'm good.
Well, actually, while we were talking, I actually messaged my friend the one who works at the GameStop. I was like, hey, can you just keep a mental note of this for me just for funny research purposes? And he goes, that's not a real gaming console. I'm like, what? I'm looking at it on their website right now. What are you talking about? And he goes, dang, GameStop did us dirty. They didn't even tell us about that.
Whoa.
Wow.
Y'all were about to be real disappointed in a few weeks when you had a bunch of people waiting for this, only to find out they can't play their games on it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Oh, it's gonna be chaos.
Okay. Well, that's going to be interesting. So
I'll leave you with the chaos.
We'll leave you with the chaos. And with that, then, I think that will do it for us this week. And thank you for listening as always. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cool. And then
so you got the Craig thing working. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I go over and now I type Craig leave admin chat.